So, you're not a stranger when it comes to waking up at 3 a.m. to get those sunrise shots, sitting in the eye for those perfect moments, but now you're thinking about making a career out of it. Well, I'm here to meet Radomir, who's a professional wildlife photographer and Canon ambassador. He's going to teach us about the importance of knowing your kit inside and out, building a project, and telling a great story within your wildlife photography. Let's go find out.
Today we will talk about customizing your buttons and how you find your way in photography of wildlife and how you can make a living out of it.
Let's talk about building your career in the world of wildlife photography.
I started with smaller magazines where you get maybe 10 sites or something like this, and later the stories are getting bigger and bigger.
Do you work with brands? Do they give you some sort of brief that you work on?
Normally I do the opposite way, so I'm working on my own project of my own ideas, and later I have to find somebody who's buying my images. So it's the opposite way than all other photography themes.
Talking about narratives, let's go back to some of your work that you've done before.
Normally when it comes to wildlife, the circle of life maybe is the easiest one because it comes back at every species. So here we selected the muskox from Norway in the Dovrefjell National Park. I needed the runting season, so where you see how the bulls are fighting, you need some images where the animals are living. Later you need images of the mating, so that you really have some strong images for this story.
Does it get personal for you? Do you put yourself in this project?
You have to love wildlife photography because you're starting at 4 or 3 in the morning and you're the whole day outside in the wilderness. So it's not like that somebody is paying you this time, it's more coming out of your heart. So the important part is that you believe what you are doing.
How important is your kit choice for every project that you go for?
It's very important that you know what you want to shoot. So I'm going with the 400mm 2.8 when I shoot mammals, and with the 600mm 4.0 when I shoot more birds. And on the other hand side, I use a lot the 2x extender or the 1.4x extender.
Hang on, so you mentioned those new accessories I haven't seen before. So what are those? What do they do? Why do you need them?
That are extenders. I can use it on my 400 or on my 600mm lens to extend the focal length. So with the 2x I get 800mm out of this lens. With the 1.4 I get 560mm of this, and I'm very flexible. Normally I got this on the shoot here inside of my jacket. And when I want to change the focal length, I just take it out and put it on my camera.
And for these projects, which camera do you use?
Normally I start with the Canon EOS R3. I think it's at the moment the coziest camera for my hand because I love the ergonomics how it. And the cool thing about Canon cameras is that you can customize nearly every button. I can literally figure every button with a feature I want to use. For example, I have on the AF on button my autofocus control, so I can use the smart controller and focus wherever I want. On the second button I'm using animal detection, and on the third one I got a panning mode. So when I choose to make action images, they are a little bit blurred, so I move with my subject. I can just go on this button and I have like 1/10 of the second and I follow the animal. So this is really, really cool, and it's so easy to make action shot with it.
Speaking of fast moving subjects, is there anything on the camera that allows you to focus on those subjects quickly?
Yes, a very cool feature called eye control. You just have to set it up in the menu, and then when you're looking through the EVF, you can track your eye and you look at the scenery and the autofocus will go there where you are looking at. That's very cool.
That's incredible. We've spoken about building your career and the importance of knowing your kit inside and out. How about educating yourself about, wildlife, what you're going to shoot?
I think that the behavior of the animal is very important because when you know the possible behavior, you can, like the pre-burst on the camera, you can pre-react so that you can imagine what can happen, and then it's easier to really capture the moment.
Can you still shoot a project without knowing what the wildlife is going to be like?
Normally not.
Okay, and why is that?
Because when you are not prepared on the species, you can have a lucky punch. But when you really want to get the shots, you have to know what you're doing.
Thank you so much. That's been really, really useful. I think what we've learned today about building that career in the world of wildlife photography is about, learning about your camera kit, knowing it inside and out, picking the right lenses, and so much more. Are there any more tips and tricks that you want to give us before we go?
I think that the two main tips I can give is how you customize your camera so that you get most out of your equipment. And on the other hand side, it's really important that you are really passionate about wildlife and wildlife photography, because the way to get a professional wildlife photographer is really long and hard.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So be passionate about your craft and also learn a lot about your kit so you know everything inside and out. I hope you guys have taken a lot of notes in this session, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this in the Canon Learning series. We shall see you in the next one.